your day by just saying 3 words.
And for those that are here with us that are serving in any capacity, they're serving in the business world, they're serving in the military, tell them you love them, because you never know. This may be the last time you get a chance to say that. Spend time with them, quality time with them.
Devon Taylor, Chris 6 News.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America.
Hundreds also gathered to pay their respects today at the Coastal Bend State Veterans Cemetery. One family we met out there tells us they travel every year from Bastrop to visit their loved ones buried here. They say it means a lot to be able to celebrate and honor them.
Really important to remember those that have gave their lives, so we can be able to have barbecues and be able to do the fun stuff. But I think that they should take time and remember what it's all about.
Thousands of veterans across the state are buried at the cemetery and are honored every year.
Lord, bless us as we forward, righteous and freedom all over our beautiful country.
Over at Seaside Memorial Cemetery, people gathered at the Seaside Funeral Home in Memorial Park earlier today to observe Memorial Day. People gathered around the flagpole and commemorated everyone that sacrificed their life in the line of duty.
This is a day when the nation pauses to remember those who gave their life in military service, and we will remember that sacrifice.
Over at the USS Lexington, the community came together to also remember those who served our country and made the ultimate sacrifice. We spoke with one couple who shared why they attend today's event.
Remembering those that have fallen and just honoring them and knowing that we still remember them, even though they've been gone and they've been gone a long time. We still remember them, and their lives still have an effect on ours.
A special wreath laying was held at the end of today's ceremony. The USS Lexington also has a museum exhibit honoring more than 645,000 men and women who have died defending our freedom since World War I. It's a special version of USAA's Poppy Wall of Honor. Today was the last day USAA members and employees could get free admission to the museum. After today, the company is offering those eligible a 50% discount on admission prices until June 7th. And it's not just Corpus Christi who absorbed this day. Our Michaela Chavez shows us how the VFW Post 2932 and Aransas Pass honored those lost and what they hope to teach future generations to come.
The John Wiebel VFW Post 2932 puts a heavy focus on giving back to their community. But today, their community is giving back by helping them honor those who gave the ultimate sacrifice. VFW Commander Ray Matas says they wanted to do something to teach the community the importance of today and also honor those who they hold near and dear to their hearts.
This VFW was founded in 1934. A lot of the members who founded this VFW are no longer with us. We remember anybody and everybody who has fought for us for our freedoms.
Navy veteran and Post member Christopher Salters tells us how much it means to him to observe Memorial Day with those he fought for.
It means giving back to the people who gave their life for our country. Being myself, I just love to give back. That's why I joined this VFW, to give back to the community of Aransas Pass.
Ingleside Post member Fred Middlestead shared why he traveled to take part in today's event.
Why did we fight all these wars? What was it ultimately about? It was about freedom. The freedom to say what you want, do what you want, love who you want.
The event also recognized Vietnam veterans.
Everybody deserves the recognition for their service. Thanks to those who are willing to go and do what many others won't and make those sacrifices.
The Post plans to make this an annual event to not only remember their brave friends, but to appreciate what they sacrificed their lives for. Reporting from Aransas Pass, Michaela Chavez, Chris 6 News.
Tonight, the City of Portland and Veterans Band will come together for a Memorial Day ceremony. It will include an address from the mayor and performance by the local Veterans Band. It is happening between City Hall and the Community Center at 6:30 p.m. The event is free and everyone is invited to attend. After a year of travel nightmares this summer, the Transportation Security Administration will be put to the test. The agency says it will have screened 10 million passengers between Thursday and today. Transportation Secretary Pete Buttigieg says flight cancellations are down after last summer's repeated meltdowns. Airline insists they are right-sized, operating fewer flights on larger airplanes and right-staffed. A CNN analysis shows the industry has hired nearly 48,000 new workers in the last year.
We're doing everything we can to press airlines to deliver that good service. And if there is an issue, we have your back.
Though airlines worry it is the federal government that could cause delays, 2 in 10 air traffic controller jobs are empty. That's 3,000 positions nationwide. The FAA has opened 169 new, more efficient flight routes up and down the East Coast, even limiting space launches off peak times for passengers. All that matters is getting where they want to go, knowing one snag could slow the start of summer. Heading to trial, a man accused of killing a woman more than 10 years ago is finally making his appearance in court. We'll tell you why it took so long and what he's pleaded in the case. And the fallout continues, involving State Attorney General Ken Paxton. In 3 minutes, what the Texas House decided in terms of his impeachment and what comes next for the GOP leader. Thanks for watching Chris 6 News at 6. Welcome back. More than a decade after Kimberly Encina was hit by a car and killed on McArdle near Ennis and Jocelyn, the accused driver is set to head to trial. Encina was walking to church when she was struck by a car in February of 2012. In July of last year, a tip led police to Michael Atkinson, who was already in jail on unrelated charges. He was charged with causing an accident with serious bodily injury or death. Atkinson has pled not guilty to all charges. The trial is set to begin tomorrow morning at the Nueces County Courthouse. You can count on Chris 6 News to bring you updates on air and online. Turning now to the latest fallout surrounding a top GOP official in Texas. Over the weekend, the Texas House voted to impeach Attorney General Ken Paxton after allegations of years of misconduct. Haley Jackson tells us what comes next.
A significant showdown this morning in Deep Red, Texas, a Republican-led effort against a prominent conservative and key ally of Donald Trump.
There have been 121 ayes and 23 nays.
The state attorney general, Ken Paxton, impeached and now suspended by the Texas State House over allegations of bribery, unfitness for office, and abuse of public trust.
He's being attacked by his own employees.
Some conservative supporters defending Paxton, including former President Donald Trump, a key ally in Texas.
He's done more for the American people than any president in our lifetime.
Mr. Trump also calling out Texas's Republican Governor Greg Abbott, who so far has been silent on the decision. Paxton tweeting Sunday night he's been overwhelmed by the outpouring of support after calling the historic vote a politically motivated sham.
The fact that I was prohibited from presenting evidence to defend myself reveals that this shameful process was curated from the start.
The three-term attorney general, no stranger to controversy, separately indicted 8 years ago on securities fraud charges, pleading not guilty in a case that has yet to go to trial. But a Texas House committee led by fellow Republicans in March began investigating years-long accusations Paxton misused his office, which he denies. And this week, lawmakers filed 20 articles of impeachment against him.
The evidence is substantial.
Among the allegations, that he took bribes from a real estate investor and political donor who helped remodel his house, that he used his influence to help look into a federal investigation of that donor, and that he fired staff members who reported his misconduct. Paxton later settling for more than $3 million with 4 of those former aides, then asking for state money to pay that settlement. Despite the public scandals, Paxton stayed popular enough to win re-election for a 3rd term in November. He was endorsed by Mr. Trump, but it's the state Senate that could determine his future as Attorney General, with a trial in the days to come and a new political fight now just beginning.
In other news, a Texas state legislator passed 2 bills over the weekend that some say amounts to election meddling in the state's largest county. The legislation authorizes the state secretary of state to order administrative oversight of a county elections office if a complaint is filed. The measure would affect any county that has a population of more than 4 million people. Only one county, Harris County, currently meets that criteria, and it has leaned Democratic in recent elections. The bill's now headed to Governor Greg Abbott's desk.
All right, the skies are angry, my friends. It looks good at Snowpeaks, but you look off to the west and there are some strong to severe thunderstorms. It didn't rain in Corpus Christi today, but it sure rained elsewhere. And I'll show it to you and have your forecast next.
Now, your Chris 6 weather forecast.
Hi, everybody. Welcome back. I hope you've had a great holiday weekend here. And on this Memorial Day, we've got some severe weather out to the west of us. Severe thunderstorm warning for northern parts of Jim Wells and Duval County till 6:45 and down into northern Brooks County until 7 o'clock for this severe thunderstorm we've been tracking since the 5 o'clock show. So here it is right here. And you can see pretty angry storms down there in southern Jim Wells and Duval County, down around Fremont and Concepcion. They're getting nailed by this right now, and it's producing very heavy rain and gusty winds along with some small hail, and of course a lot of lightning, especially right in through here south of Concepcion now, and then to the south and west of Fremont there, and just to the west of 281 headed towards Falfurrias, that you'll be there by 6:37, and the Airport Road addition there by 6:43 tracking on to the south. It's a pretty remote area of the Chris 6 viewing area, but worth noting for sure. As we take a look at these storms, there are all kinds of warnings out in San Antonio right now for this area of severe thunderstorms. It's moving southeast. We'll watch this later tonight, perhaps affecting Bee and Live Oak County and into McMullen County and our watershed. So that would be important because most of the rain today missed the watershed. And you can see these storms down to the northwest of Fremont, or Falfurrias, near Fremont. Again, they are showing some signs of weakening, as you can see here. This is the 3D version. They're pulsating up and then breaking down and then pulsating back up again. But right now they're in a downtrend in that region. All right. Let's take a look at the rain. Some rain in San Patricio County, north side of the bay there, all the way up to Bayside, and then out to the west. We've got rainfall amounts of over 2 inches there, northwest of trade winds, around trade winds a ½ inch, and around Portland about 1/10 of an inch. But Bob Lacey Jr. had 0.56, the storm that started here and went up in this direction this morning about 11 o'clock. Then you can see the activity out to the west, some pockets of very heavy rain out to the west and north of Alice, and then south towards Benavides, and then south from there towards Concepcion. The forecast calls for the activity out of San Antonio to break apart. I'm not sure that's going to happen, but we are going to see some sea breeze showers start up in the morning on the coast and then work inland during the afternoon hours tomorrow. And then that's pretty much going to be it for the rest of the week until we get to next weekend, which on Sunday.